everybody, and welcome to day 31. We're getting there. You know, on this day 31, it made me think about something that I think a lot of us struggle a lot with, and that is the theory of change. One of the it's funny. We work so hard most of our lives to just keep with a system that when we do get a rhythm of something that we're comfortable with, one of the hardest things that we face is the need to change it. So, and that's with anything in life, whether it's the way in which you handle things in your house, whether it's the way you wash clothes, whether it's, your need of health and fitness, your lack thereof, or anything. Your daily routines are your daily routines, and the hardest things we have is when we're faced with the need for change, or sometimes it's not even so much a need for change, it's just when sometimes we are faced with, we don't have a choice. So it's like I looked upon my 50 years and I said, how many things have I changed, and how many things have I not changed, and how many things was I forced to change, and it's funny because maturity allows you to be open to change more than when you're younger. I remember when I was working for a bank, and I was involved in bank conversions and different things like that. I remember how the younger people were cool with the change. The older people were furious because they were so used to this rigid system, or the system. They were not open to the progression of technology and different things like that. So when I look back on it and I say to myself, it's true. As we get older, we don't want to have to change. It's something that even in the back of our mind will say, yeah, I really should do X, Y, Z. I really should change this, or I should do, but we just don't want to do it. We become set in our ways and don't want to do it. And I even noticed that it even becomes difficult for older people, that when they've been divorced and they've gone through one marriage, a lot of times when they've gone through the process of getting themselves together or whatever, and they're comfortable in their environment, they don't want to change that environment. And that includes bringing someone else in that home, or bringing someone that they just don't want to change. So what if, even though you're getting older, what if you were always open to change if someone gave you a better way? And that would be, in their opinion, a better way. What if you were open to all those changes? It says, it's been said by Psychology Today, in a lot of studies and different things like that, that it takes 21 days to break a habit. It takes 90 days to make it a part of your life. This is why it takes so much for people to get into health and fitness. This is why people will rather take shortcuts when they don't have to. Like, don't get me wrong, surgery for some people is necessary. Surgery for, whether it's gastric bypass, the sleeve, or whatever people choose to do, it is, for some of them, it is a life-saving thing. But for others, it is just simply they don't have the patience to put in to make the change, and therefore they get surgeries and different things like that, thinking it's going to make the change. Studies have also shown that, like, there has been quite a few people that have been diagnosed with heart disease, and they've had a triple bypass or a quadruple bypass. And what happens is that because they feel that they've been fixed, they don't change their eating habits. They just don't change their habits. Change has to come from within. Change can't be something that somebody forces you into. Change has to be a want by you. Change has to have the evidence to show you that if you change this, it's going to be that. Change is not a bad thing. It almost is up there with risk. Sometimes it's worth it to take the risk, and take a chance and do different things. But change is not all bad. But you have to be willing to do it, especially if it's for the greater good. You know, it's so funny because now about to be 50, I'm cool with change, you know, but it's only on certain things. Like, I think when you have this past and you're so stuck on the things in which you've been through, there are certain things in your life that you would never be willing to change ever again. You're like, that's it. I'm not going down that road. Like for me, one of them is hopefully with everything that I'm doing, maybe I will become a millionaire. But you know, until I see those zeros behind those checks, yeah, I'm not moving because I'm not willing to change my home environment for the things that I've been through. And plus, I'm just not interested in paying at 50 years old $2,000-3,000 a month for a mortgage. You know, I want to live, I want to have fun. You know, and then, but there's other people that's their dream. Their dream is to, no matter what age, get to that, writing that big check. That's cool if that's what you want, but you have to be understanding what it takes to make that change and what are you doing to get there. So you know, I'm a big advocate for health and fitness and getting in gear with health and fitness. You know, no matter what quick fix you come up with, if you don't change your mental state, your eating habits, and the way in which you see yourself, it won't change anything. It'll actually start to make you look a little weird. You know, but it's change is something that you have to be mature enough to be open to. Change is not a bad thing. You know, like I tell you something else. Like there's like a lot of women, you know, will have this perception or idea of who they want to date, how they want to date these people, and so forth. And this is what they've been doing all along, and it ain't been working, right? So sometimes taking the stance to say, you know what, I'm going to change the way in which I'm, dating people, and I'm going to take a chance on X, Y, Z. You might be surprised the end result of what you get because you change your perspective and give people an opportunity that maybe you wouldn't give an opportunity before. And it's the same with men. You know, men are sometimes so crucial on the women. You know, like maybe give the one woman that maybe you weren't thinking about getting, but she's, you know, meet a whole bunch of qualities, other qualities, maybe give that person a chance. You know, it's something that you just have to be open to. I tell you something else why change is necessary. One of the biggest things that we are big shit talkers, right? We'll talk and talk and talk. You have to understand something. If every day you do something the same way, every single day, you're going to get the same result the next day. You got to understand what I'm saying here. So, like for instance, if you want to lose weight, if you are doing the same thing every single day, you're going to get the same result every single day. You know, if you're in a dead-end relationship, or if you want marriage, or if you want and you're not getting it, tomorrow's not going to be any different if you keep doing the same thing. Same thing goes with employment, starting a company and different things about it. If every day you talk about it, if every day you complain about it, and if every day you do nothing different about it, you're going to get the same result because you never said, I'm ready and open for change. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that could be like cool with change and want to change and just don't know what to do to change. And that's a fair assumption to make. So this is when I always say, now you got to seek out advice. But if you remember, days ago, I did a day on advice, and I always say advice is only meant to be taken from an expert. So if there's something that you want to do and you want to change about yourself, you have to talk to the people that are expert in that which you want to change. Friends are not always the best people to go to for advice with whatever it is. You know, it's like you understand something. A lot of friends will either do one or two things. They'll validate what you're saying and not really give you any support. Or they'll just tell you what you want to hear, or they're going to discourage you. It's going to be one or the other. But whatever it is you're thinking about doing and challenging yourself and different things like that, you've got to talk to the experts so that you have what I call a starter path to change. Because the other thing about advice is never meant to be duplicated. Just because something worked for one is not always going to mean it's going to work for the other. So if you're willing to change something in your life, whatever that is, you have to understand that you have to get that from an expert to have you at the starting line. It is your job to get to the finish line. But change is not bad. So what if tomorrow you wake up and you say, you know what? I want to change this. And I always say, get a sticky, write it down, and you can write on that sticky, say, in 2019, I want to change this. And use that as your starting point. And don't overwhelm yourself with wanting to change this, change that, change. Just pick one thing. And once you pick that one thing about whatever it is you want to change, then even if it's like saving money, what can I do to change this and have money available for an emergency and different things like that? What if you just say, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid of change anymore. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to get up off my ass and I'm going to do something and I'm going to change. Whatever it is. Don't be afraid of change. Embrace change. And it's like I said, if it's your health and fitness that you want to change, not that you want to look good for any person or anybody, but I'm going to tell you, making the decision to get healthy, it's not just a change, it's a lifestyle. And it's rough. It's not an easy road. And the reason people give up so quickly is because they want to see the results tomorrow. They want to see the results in 1 week. One of the biggest discouragement people have is a scale. You want to change your weight and you want to change this, but as soon as you see that the scale is not going in the direction to which you want to see, you give up and you're not willing to make that change anymore. That's the most horrific thing, is that damn scale, But your body will show you that you're changing. Your body will adjust and show you what you're doing is right. So don't give up on that. So in 2019, just pick that one thing. Pick that one thing you want to change and make the change. What if you changed tomorrow? All right, everybody, on to day 32. It's going to be a good one. See you tomorrow.